Are you earning an income but don't really have a backup plan? What if something goes wrong? This message is for you. So most people don't realize how exposed they are until something happens and they're forced to face it. We're going to talk about the one simple step you can take, why it's so important, so that way you can protect everything that you've built. By the end of this teaching, you're going to identify how your income would be replaced if you no longer are able to work. This is about getting awareness and wisdom so you can prepare. Are you the breadwinner of the family? Are you the head of the household? Are you responsible for yourself or others? You normally assume that, things are going to be okay. And then, you know what? Something will take care of me, like disability, Social Security. Do you rely on credit cards or savings or even your health insurance and maybe your workman's comp? Is that your backup plan? If your income stopped tomorrow, would your household be okay? Or are you going to be in a panic? I know you're working hard and you do not want to lose what you have, but what if you do because you didn't protect it? Now, when we talked about our financial house and getting it in order, you wouldn't build walls and decorate the rooms and upgrade your kitchen without a roof, right? Many people have income with no protection over it. When things happen, and they do, I have seen people with really good income, right? And something happens, an illness, an injury, a job loss, death in the family. It's not because they were irresponsible, but because they assumed nothing would happen. I'm too young. I'm healthy. I'm fine. Got it covered. You can't assume. Wisdom tells us to prepare. Scripture consistently guides us to help build our financial house with wisdom. Proverbs 27:12. They talk about a prudent person sees danger and takes precautions. It's the simpleton that goes on blindly and then suffers the consequences. So wisdom prepares. It doesn't react. It doesn't panic. It sees risks and responds appropriately as a sign of maturity. In Proverbs 22:7, the rich rule over the poor and the borrower is a slave to the lender. Now, this is my pet peeve. Debt. It limits our options. And when income is disrupted, debt will increase because we don't have enough set aside and we didn't plan to protect our family. And that removes flexibility. We've all been in that situation where we had more months than money. We've heard about compounding interest, and with investments, it has the ability to build wealth. When it comes to debt, it has the ability to destroy it. The interest rates we pay is money we're throwing away. That keeps us stuck in a cycle, and it will cost us everything. A wise person told me that if I don't have the money to pay for something twice, then don't pay for it once. Wait until I have the money outright. Now, this one is something that we tend to do because we want to help out friends and family. Proverbs 6:1-3. We're just going to snip it out. My child, if you have put up security for a friend's debt or agreed to guarantee the debt of a stranger, you have trapped yourself by agreement. And their advice is to ask to be released from it. Swallow your pride, beg to have your name erased. Now, that is the other danger of debt. When we co-sign for others, we think we're helping them, but actually we're enabling them and we're trapping ourselves. Scriptures teaches us financial entanglements are a serious thing. The urgency here is to reflect how dangerous they are when we become obligated to pay for somebody else's debt. When you are co-signing, you are taking it as your own. And ask yourself if you're really helping that person. Would it change the relationship? What if you never get it back? Are you going to be okay with that? Because if you're not okay with it, then don't do it. If you are, then consider it a gift. But if it's going to create resentment, really pause before doing it. And we've talked about good planning and how hard work will lead to prosperity. Now, this is key because we have to be diligent when it comes to our finances. We have to think ahead so we're not reacting. Look at what you have in place to protect yourself and your family in case you can't work. Is it enough? And we're going to discuss that a little bit more later. In Ecclesiastes 11:2, it talks about how we should divide our investments among many places. Right now, a lot of people are relying on their 401k. The 401k is tied to the market. What happens if the market drops. Most people think that like, okay, I have my portfolio diversified, but it's still tied to the market. Do you have something set aside that's something a little safer that's not in the stock market? Do you have emergency savings? Do you have something that will provide for you in the future that is secure, that is not going to lose money? This is biblical diversification and risk awareness. God acknowledges uncertainty and encourages us to prepare. 1 Corinthians 14:33 says, "For God is not a God of disorder, but of peace." Financial order supports peace. Do you understand, like, when you do not know where your money is going, doesn't it feel chaotic? Do you not feel stressed? Chaos, especially around money, creates anxiety. The Bible never intended us to live in that kind of chaos. So we have to be more mindful and be better stewards. Remember, we've talked about our financial house and how it requires wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Wisdom is the why, understanding is the how, and knowledge is the what. This type of protection is foundational. I want you to take one practical step. I want you to ask yourself, if my income stopped today, how would it be replaced? Make a simple list. List out all your savings, your emergency fund, any credit cards. We've talked about that before. You want to know what you have in place as far as coming in, what you have set aside. We've talked about the interest. That is robbing you of money, but you have to get honest and list them all down. Now take a look at your insurance. Look at your group life insurance from your work if you have signed up. Do you have disability? Do you have accidental insurance? Do you have something that you've purchased on your own? Or do you have nothing at all? Having this awareness will help you kind of understand where your gaps are. Now, how do you calculate if you have enough? If you take your income and the number of years you're planning to work, multiply that. That should be the amount of money that you need for good coverage, because you want to be able to cover your family in case anything happens to you in years, not just a certain amount. Make sure that your income is covering them for the length of time. If you're single, there's actually protection out there for you that has living benefits that would be able to cover you in case you're not able to work through injury or a major illness and your short-term disability won't cover it. Now remember, this list is not for judgment. It's just for you to get some clarity. And once you have the information, you can truly make changes. The goal of this teaching isn't just information. We want you to take action. If this has helped you, don't just agree with it. Please do it. Apply the one step we talked about today, making that list to get that awareness. Now, change doesn't happen all at once. It happens when you take the right step with clarity and intention. If you want to go deeper, like and share and subscribe. Check out the resources below. Until next time, move forward with faith, structure, and peace. Thank you for watching.